Hello, Sir David the Bard. I'm coming to you from Kangaroo City down here in Australia. And as you know, I have 14 kangaroos, and some of them have hopped much better than others. And I have one kangaroo that walks. Stephen. Stephen can't get a hop on anything. He's been a drug addict since 11th grade. He's still a drug addict, so I've got one bad apple. But anyway, the others are fairly successful. I have CPAs and MBAs and court reporters, and God, it goes on and on. There's some good kids there. I wanted to share with you the frustration of trying to raise kids in this day and age. Now, when I was 20, which was 50 years ago, if a kid mouthed off to you, you could just smack him. Bam! That was it. Bitch slap. You could also grab him by the shirt and put him up against the wall and say, "Can you hear me?" You could also spank them. You weren't allowed to leave marks on them, but you could spank them. And there were other forms of physical discipline that were amazing. Children's ears went to Obama size. When you cause pain to a child, they start to listen and realize what you're saying you really mean. Now, over this evolution, I have a degree in social work and a couple of degrees in guidance and psychological services and college teaching of humanities, so I have some experience with 14 children. They're about split. I don't remember if it was 7 girls and 7 boys. It doesn't matter. I do like the girls better. I find the boys are tougher to raise. The girls I have an easier time with. But anyway, I have a kangaroo who just turned 13. Now this is an age from hell. God damn. This was the sweetest little girl in the world. I remember when I got her in the Philippines. She was just tiny and so beautiful with little black hair and black eyes and just loving and kind and sweet. What happened to the kangaroo? I don't know. Somewhere between 6th and 7th grade, she got a mind of her own. And a mind is a terrible thing to lose. So I'm trying to get her to lose it. Now here's my new idea. And you know what? It works. You can take TV away from a child, but they have a cell phone. They look at their cell phone. They go to school. They look at their friend's cell phone. They can see anything on a cell phone they want. So back in my days, if you took a TV away from me, boy, that was a punishment. Also, it was a punishment if you had to go in and watch the black and white TV. The color TV was a privilege in the 50s. So anyway, it is very hard to discipline children these days because you got the damn social services standing over you. 98% of the parents can physically discipline their children, and it's not abuse. Not today. Not today. You hit a child and you're running a 50-50 chance of somebody, including the child, calling social services, and the nightmare begins. So there has to be other ways. You can ground a child, but if they have wings, they just fly out the window and they go where they want to go. What are you going to do? Run down the street? I have a funny story. When I was the director of a residential facility in Springfield, Massachusetts, my staff and all of my children in the residence were black. And we were in the middle of a black neighborhood. And our doors were all locked because the kids were on lockdown and troublemakers. Well, I had one escape. He started running down the street. And here I am, a white 28, 26-year-old, chasing a black kid in the community. Well, all the people came out of their houses, and they were sitting on their porches watching the white guy chase the black kid. Now, it didn't matter. If the child was a murderer, I was going to be killed. So finally, I looked around and said, Homie don't like this. So I ran back to the residential facility. Where the black kid went, we still don't know. So anyway, they have wings. And boy, I'll tell you, some of these children, they work. My kids work. Abigail is almost 17. She always has $2,000 to $5,000 in the bank. Always. She's got a brand new car. She pays all of her insurance. She pays all of the gas. She pays everything. If that child wants to get up and leave, she can leave anytime she wants. And the law's going to back her up. She can emancipate herself with that kind of money and out the door. So, Abigail has turned into a really, really decent human being and child. You all know she's a lesbian, and she came out when she was in 8th grade, and today is a wonderful day that the United States Supreme Court has said Abigail can marry whoever she wants. It's no one's business, including me. And so I think that's a wonderful civil rights issue that has been solved again in the United States. So anyway, how do you punish these spoiled brats? They have, we have, I don't know, 3 or 4 computers in the house, so they can always get to a computer. They get to their cell phones. Now, we have learned to turn off the cell phone signal. But if the child knows the code word, she turned it back on. We look like idiots. So anyway, now we had to go in and we had to change the code word to be secret. And so her cell phone line went down, and she says we have killed her. Her life has been ruined with no cell phone line. Well, that has some effect. But we still have a landline, and they'll talk a little bit on the landline, but not as much as they do on the cell phone, and all the information and all the things that kids use that cell phone for. So anyway, Mr. Hammer, he's my right-hand man and right-hammer man. If that cell phone, and she had one, that she got out of control, totally out of control. And the little kangaroo met Mr. Hammerman, and he just beat the shit out of that cell phone. If you think a cell phone is little, you should see what it looks like when it's been hit 100 times with a hammer. There's not a piece bigger than a pea. Well, that had some effect, but kangaroos bounce back, if you know what I mean. So she saved her money up again. She bought a new cell phone. She was buying her own line, and pretty soon she thought that she could go and come as she pleased. And I told her, I said, no, a 13-year-old girl is not going to be walking at night, even though we live, 100 miles from the nearest kangaroo. She's so cute, they'd jump 100 miles to get her. So anyway, I had problems with her coming home at night, and that made me upset. Then she gets a mouth on her. God dang. Now, you and I never said these things to our parents, but my 13-year-old kangaroo has written to me on my phone, fuck you. She's written to me in writing, fuck you. She says, you fat son of a bitch, you've ruined my life, you're not my real dad. God, what a mouth. What a mouth. So she talks back all the time, and boy, I've been tempted to grab her and smack her, but these days you have to go with the flow. So here's what we did. This is brilliant. This is the barred bedroom. Give her a barred bedroom. Now, this child came from the Philippines, was used to crapping and peeing on the ground, and never had a bedroom, never had, clothes, food, medical, dental, nothing. Well, I adopted her, so she has her own room. And it's a nice room. There's cathedral ceilings and beautiful view out the window. And she can see all the kangaroos she wants. And I had to put an alarm system in because I was afraid she's going to climb out the window and be gone, and I wouldn't know it. But my alarm system now lets me know that the house is locked down. Well, she decides that the bedroom is hers. I have to remind my kids, this is my house, and my rules go in this house. If you don't want to live by those rules, don't let the front door hit you in the ass. Get out. My rules are simple. I don't go for smoking and drinking. My Abigail drinks coffee. Who cares? Who gives a shit there? I don't like them smoking or drinking. Drinking makes girls' panties fall off. I've told them that, and they're pretty good. I don't think any of my girls drink. And the smoking, good Lord, anyone that has common sense doesn't start that habit. So I expect reasonable morality when these kids get to be 17, like Abigail. Good Lord, when I was 17, every human being is sexual. I don't care if you're newborn or you're 90 years old or whatever. Every human being is sexual, and they express that, and they learn that, and they use that in different ways. Who am I to tell somebody else how to use their penis or vagina? Now, I will say this. If you're using your penis and vagina and you're conceiving babies that you can't support, that the welfare people have to support, if you want to ruin your education, you want to ruin your ability to go to college, you want to stay home with a crying baby, that's okay. But if you're having babies and I have to raise them and my neighbors have to give them food stamps, that ain't right. You're taking from the goodwill of the people. So use a condom or other ways of avoiding pregnancy. So what these kids do with pregnancy, I don't give a rat's ass, as long as it's not illegitimate. Now Abigail can marry whoever she wants. She's 17. She doesn't even need my permission anymore. She can go ahead and have consensual sex, and out the door she goes. And I always tell my kids that discipline brings freedom. Discipline brings freedom. If you control yourself, you can go wherever you want. You can do whatever you want. And you have the best jobs, the best cars, the best houses. But when you don't have any personal discipline, you're going to live under a tree. And have your hand down at the freeway exit. So anyway, I know you're holding your breath. What has the bard done? I have taken her door off. I have removed most of the furniture from her room. She has her bed and her piano, a chair and a light, and she is just filthy. There's no other word for it. I had one other child, a girl, that was like Allison. You go in Allison's room, there's old bananas, there's old apples, there's half a bowl of cereal, milk that is spoiled, shoes, socks, dirty clothes, and papers from every candy bar ever made, gum. I can't go on. I get sick thinking about it. Well, one day we'd had enough. Okay, we'd had enough, and we've been screaming, we've been yelling. God, we've put her on medication. We've done everything but pray and make her wear garments. She's too little for garments. Have to cut them off at the legs. Anyway, we told Allison, we're going to clean your room. Mom and Dad are going to clean your room, and we charge $50. So we went in, and we made the room look like white people. And now my dark friend, you know I have a brown family. I have one gentleman that writes me all the time. What's his name? I can't think. He's black. He's a wonderful guy. He's just smart as hell and funny. But anyway, we made the room look like ordinary cleanliness, and people lived there. So we took $50 of her money out of the bank. Now when you take kids' money, that helps them. Their ears start to open up. Then what we did, we went upstairs to Abigail. And now this is a rich kid. And we found generally the same mess. And I said, no. Bard's house does not need social workers or healthcare workers coming over and seeing the way my kids live. So we put them on the couch in the living room, and we told them both, $50 from you, we had to clean your room up. $50 from you, we had to clean your room up. And now we want our $50 back. Or no, we got the $50. Now we want a deposit. Just like in the real world, the reason people take deposits is because of you two, the way you leave a building. We are not giving you those rooms back without $100 deposit. So Abigail, goddamn, the kid's rich. She takes out 100 and hands it and says, "Leave me alone." It goes up to her room. What can I do? She obeyed the rules. But the little one, she didn't have 100. So we locked her door. From the outside, we have a key to her door. And she doesn't have a bedroom. Now, before you jump up and down, I'm a social worker. Okay? She's a girl. She needs her clothes. She needs a private place to dress. We have a bathroom with locks on the doors, of course. And we let her into the room with a key to get clean clothes. Then we lock it back out. She sleeps on the couch. Now, let me give you some advice as a social worker. There's nowhere that I know that the law requires a parent to give a child a bedroom. Here's what we do have to give them: food, housing, clothing, medical, dental, privacy, a place to sleep that's warm and dry, and maybe some entertainment and recreation. That would be a reasonable thing for parents to give a child. Religion, if you want to add that in it. But you don't have to give them bedrooms. So we confiscated her bedroom. She sleeps on the couch. She can't make a mess out in the living room. We look at it. She used to lock her door and shut the door until you opened it up and it looked like a mini hoarder. No. Homie don't have hoarders. So now she's living in the living room. She gets her clothes out of her bedroom. She does her chores. She has her privacy in the bathroom and dressing. She does eat, but now we see the food and the dishes, and she puts them back. So it's brilliant. Take their damn bedroom, not their door. Take the whole goddamn bedroom. Now, Allison is $90. She still owes it. She's paid $10 for the deposit. Now, right now, she doesn't want the room back. She wants her phone back. Kids today, modern kids. So she's working every day, and she makes $7 a day, and she's saving money for her phone line. And then she's going to save money for the deposit to get her bedroom back. Well, in between times, we've had guests here, and we always have a spare bedroom. It's Allison's room. But, oh yeah, we have room. Right in there. Take the key, go right in there. So anyway, it's working. I have to say it's working. We don't have to give a child a bedroom. That is not abuse. If they have a clean, safe place to sleep and to be, and to have, we rented her the porch when we first started, because we didn't know, how we're going to make this work and still make sure that she's not abused. We don't want her abused. We want her to clean her room. So at first, she had to spend the first night on the patio. It was 80 degrees out there, and I've got beautiful lounge chairs, and, she was living large on the patio. And I told her, that's $3 a day for the patio. Well, then, one night, she was there, and it started raining. She comes in the house and jumps on the couch. And I said, what's the problem? She said, it's raining out there. That $3 room ain't worth it. Okay, come on in. So now she's in a dry and air-conditioned room. So anyway, the Bard is telling you how to raise children. I'm learning, almost 70 years old, and I'm still learning. Don't take their damn doors. Don't hit them. Don't spank them. Don't give them medications. Don't threaten them with their lives. Don't pop them with a hammer. Just lock their damn door and take the key. And then pretty soon the child, her TV's in there, and her privacy and all the crap that she has in there. So anyway, I've learned, Pele Ale and Oh God, hear the words of my mouth 3 times, which is the true order of prayer. So far I haven't had my throat cut or my heart torn out or my guts torn out from the Mormon penalty phase of the Mormon Church. I think the Mormon Church is rolling over in its grave today with the Supreme Court decision that everybody can marry everybody. It doesn't matter. And the Mormons now have a real problem with their temple ceremonies and all their cult stuff that has been there for years. But anyway, I want you to have health and enable, marrow in the bones, strength in loins and sinews, power and priesthood be upon you. How can be upon me and my posterity through all generations of time and throughout all eternity. So, put your doors back on your kids' room. Just take the whole damn room. This part is gone.